All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast, emanating forth, coming to you from the beautiful Arctic Air Studios. And today, the air needs to be Arctic around West Texas. Hopefully, yours is. If it's not, you need to call the bear. And if you're looking for work in the heating and air conditioning industry, you got experience as a technician, about a minimum 1 year, pretty good at it. You need to call the bear. They're looking to hire you. Great job opportunity for you. All right, we got a lot to get to today. Let's folks get in. You know what to do. The early arrivals, just thumbs up. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. You communicate with us, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook Live, thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street, where you could have dropped by today, picked up maybe a nice light salad or some fruit, something on a really hot day that tastes really good. So thanks to United Supermarkets for providing all the communications and everything we do. Also brought to you by Golf USA. That's right. Stacey Nix. I asked him 2 years ago, probably at least 2 years ago, this Ludwig Berg, any good? Stacey Nix said, he's not just good, he's special. There you go, Stacey. Nailed it. Also, they do a great job helping you play better golf over there at Golf USA. Locally owned and operated now for dang near 30 years. Are we looking at 30, Stacey? You can go in tomorrow. You can hit the simulator, you can look at the new clubs, or maybe just get a new shirt. Look good this weekend. It's Father's Day. Great gift ideas awaiting you at Golf USA 66 in Indiana. And after that, you probably hit the Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd and Quaker. Get you a great meal. Their summer cocktails are on the menu, and they've got some cool new appetizers and menu items. And you guys already know it's one of the great brunches Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2? 10 to 2? Yeah, 10 to 2. On the weekend brunch there at the Reserve. If you love Nick's Sports Grill and you love the food because Chef Willie was cooking, you hadn't been to the Reserve, then you need to go because that's who's making it happen. And all the Western wear you see us wear, brought to you by Food City One Money, 7 Mile West Loop, 19th Street. Father's Day gifts again. Maybe just go get Dad a hat. Maybe not even a cowboy hat. Just regular cap or something cool. Dads like hats. Dads like caps. Thanks to Cody Wood and his crew over there at Boot City. Now, shall we begin? I think we've got everybody in. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, where you catch everything we do. We archive it. We had your morning column there where you found out what the either-or question was going to be today. And you check out the Raiderland hot links. We serve them up fresh every morning. Cool stuff we see around the internet we love to share. And we figure if we like it, you'll probably like it too. And if you see something, you can post it in the comments section. Maybe everybody else will like it as well. Got a lot of different things going on. Goodness gracious. So much stuff today. The show just writes itself some days. And on June the 13th, we thank them for doing that. Tasty. Be tasty. There's only one thing better than conference realignment, and that's conference renaming rights. We've got 2 stories out today, and it's hard to say. CBS Sports, Yahoo Sports, Brett McMurphy, a lot of different outlets. I don't know who to give credit to first. A lot of them were coming through with all of this in the last 24 hours. So just all of them, you guys did a great job. Hat tip, thank you very much. The first thing that was really breaking was yesterday into today early is the Big 12 looking at partnering with a private equity firm, generating a yearly stream of income, selling off a 20 to whatever % chunk of the league. So that in and of itself is pretty groundbreaking. We've heard other conferences talk about it. The Big 12 with Brett Yormark, the first one to really confirm and say, yeah, we've run it by the presidents. Majority of the presidents, it sounds like, are behind this effort and this idea. So that could generate, who knows how many millions of dollars a year per school, which is good because you're about to be at $22 million on the settlement payment. And then going forward, you can probably budget anywhere above and below $22 million out of your budget just on paying players. It's the straight up payment of players. You're going to lose tens of millions of dollars that used to go to opulence in buildings and Womble centers and charter flight and all these things, and now you're going to, pay the labor. Now, the labor is going to have to understand when they start giving you more of that chunk of money, all the cool stuff, that's probably going to go away. A lot of the cool stuff goes away. That's a discussion for another day. The end of opulence in college sports. So as we go along, you guys got questions, comments, thoughts, good idea, bad idea, hit us up. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Fire away your questions or comments, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. We want to hear from you today. So that was the first story. And these are two different things. I think people are kind of confusing and conflating the private equity idea of partnering with a group that would open up and give you a revenue stream, but at the same time, they're going to want to make money off you, if not in perpetuity, for a significant amount of time, which in the world of college athletics fascinates me because I don't believe there's anything long-term in college sports right now. 3 years, long-term. 4 years, really long-term. 5 years, an eternity. Now, most private equity firms are going to look, I think, for a longer deal than that. So the devil would be in the details on how much money you would generate and what happens if. What happens when schools break away from the NCAA? What happens when the Big 12 suddenly has 10 teams? What happens if Texas Tech and Oklahoma State go to the revamped SEC and they form a football only? You know, all of those things are questions that I find mighty fascinating with the private equity deal. So and I'm not going to get in the weeds on this. It's just, these are, investors who bring a bunch of money to the table. They help and leverage what you have to try to make more money, and then they take some of that money. That's about the way it goes. All right. Danny, any talk or even possibility of the Big 12 establishing its own sports TV channel like the SEC, ACC, and others? No, and those channels pretty much, I think, are going to go away the way we have seen them in the past. You will have, as we see more and more cord cutting, you're going to see more of the ESPN Plus model, the subscription model, than you're going to see the broadcast model. Whether it's, DirecTV or anything else, it doesn't really matter. So no, I don't think you're going to see, there's no desire, there's no real hunger for that beyond, like I said, putting that on streaming. Yahoo, Amazon, Netflix, which is now valued more than Disney and whatever else, everything else combined. So the idea of a channel, don't think in terms of that. Think in terms of multi-platform streaming, which, Danny, is exactly what the Big 12 is looking at. So that was the earliest news on this today. And again, fire away your questions, comments, and everything else. Thanks to United Supermarkets as we hang out in the Arctic Air studios. There we go. Arctic Air. Yeah. It's really weird. This camera doesn't do the way my old camera used to. And you can share this and invite people in, and we'd love for you to do that, whether you're on YouTube or our Facebook. People are really coming in good. We need our YouTube rocking and rolling. And you guys, if you haven't followed or subscribed, if you don't follow us on Facebook, I wish you would. Ryan Hines, Raiderland. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody who subscribes to that, whether you watch the show there or not, we try to give you extra content, like 60 seconds commentary and different things that'll pop up, and even more coming soon. But if you guys all would subscribe to that, that helps grow the metrics. It helps our sponsors and everything else. So yeah, just run over there to our YouTube channel, check that out and subscribe. That'd be great if you guys would do that. So the private equity thing is one thing. Yeah, it's not going to be Bally Sports. Trust me on that. That ain't going to happen. I feel for you Ranger fans and Astro fans and other baseball fans who've gone through that with your the Bally Sports, Diamond Sports, and everything we've seen. The Big 12 kind of lucked out, by the way, with the ESPN Plus thing, the way it worked out. They really did that. Thanks, Lonnie, for sharing Facebook. We appreciate that. Lonnie is a Raiderland warrior out there for us. Now let's get to the great perk, does Chris. Yeah, great perks. Unbelievable. When you go to Vegas next time, I'm a subscriber to Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. That's right. Penthouse will be fine. No, it doesn't even have to be the Penthouse. Oh, it is? Oh, okay, that's fine. Then the story breaks, and I know Pete Thamel had it. What's his name at CBS Sports? Dennis Todd, I think, had it. Everybody seemed to have it at about the same time, that the Big 12 was looking at selling not just the naming rights to the Big 12, but the name of the conference itself. And the company most associated with it so far is that Allstate has been in deepest negotiations to become the name of the Big 12. And that they were looking at keeping, at least the initial reports were that the league would keep the 12, dump the Big, and you'd have the All-State 12. The All-State 12 Conference. Now, I'm not opposed to this league making money any way they can. All right. We'll get back to the naming idea. And what do you like that or not? I'll say this. The name Big 12 Conference carries little to no equity or value in the world of college athletics. It's not the Big 10. It's not the SEC. Hell, it wasn't even the Pac-10, Pac-12. It means little to nothing. It's not really been around that long in the great scheme of things. It has seen so much turnover and doesn't have 12 teams, and I know nobody has the number. So to me, I would lose the number, keep the Big All-State Conference. Or as Chris Cook out of Texas Tech said, the Big All-Sups Conference. But good idea, bad idea or not, this is a league, and Brett Yormark from day one, when he said we're open for business, he meant it. And they're not trying to close a gap. Well, they are. This isn't about trying to close a gap with the SEC or the Big Ten. This right now is about the viability of your athletic departments being able to fund as many sports as they fund right now when they start laying out millions and millions of dollars to the athletes, as employees. Every revenue stream must be explored. So the numbers we have seen so far, if they are correct, would be if a deal is done with, say, an All-State, and that becomes the name of the conference. And we'll get into some other stuff, signage and other things as well. $2 to $3 million a year. That when you extrapolate that over the lifetime of the deal, and again, this is separate from the private equity revenue stream, that each school would get about $2 or $3 million a year if you sell the name of the conference to some corporate entity. It's not a whole lot when you're talking athletic budgets in the 90, 100, 120, $130 million a year. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, does it? Yeah, but keep in mind, remember, your athletic budget is about to be cut by 20%, 30% yearly. You're not going to see an NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball revenue split even with the CBA, which the athletes will eventually have as they unionize, where it's 49, 45 to labor, and ownership gets 51, 51.5. You're not going to see that split. I think it'll be lower than that. My guess is that it's probably going to end up somewhere around 30% initially and grow. So is it worth it? $2 to $3 million a year in the Tech Athletic Department would basically mean you get to keep having golf as a sport. You get to keep maybe having track and field as a sport with that kind of money. But beyond that, just the idea, and I'm getting text messages from my friend Mark, that what was it? I think in 5 years I will be about the same interest level in college sports as I do in the NBA. Nada. I was like, yeah, because that's exactly what you're going to see. That's what college sports is going to be. The cover's been pulled back, and now you see what college sports really has been for many years. Now it's out in the open, and you're going to have to decide as a fan, do I like this or not? Do I want to root for my school? Do I root for laundry, regardless of how much the quarterback's making, or the point guard is making, or the third baseman's making? Will I still care that they have Texas Tech on their chest, or do I not care anymore? That's going to be up to you. Me, I have no problem with it. But then again, I've seen how the sausage was made in college athletics for over 30 years now. Well, at 35 years, I know the deal. A lot of folks, if they know how the sausage is made, they don't want to eat the sausage. I get that. Danny's not a fan of it. The big water conference. No, you just call it the water conference. We even get rid of big. It's just the water conference. with cheese. What a sized. Lonnie, West Texas A&M awarded host of the NJCAA D1 football championship for 24, 25, 26, 27. And that's cool. My son, West Texas State Buffalo, will get a chance to watch that every year while he's in school. They've got a great new stadium up there. They've really done a great job at WT with facilities over the last decade plus, and really have put themselves in a nice position. Cool. Chris, off of YouTube. Where are my other YouTube people? I need my YouTube people jumping in. United Supermarkets chat line. Are you even 35 years old? Barely. Chris, good idea. I'm not surprised it hasn't happened already. The Southeastern Bud Light Conference soon to follow. Yeah. And of course, what we're hearing about the Big 12 is that the name of the conference will be the corporate sponsor, not the Big 12 presented by, or, whatever, but it will just be a total, like I said, the Water Conference. I don't care. What does it really matter, the name of the conference? When you get right down to it, when you turn on the TV to watch a game, do you sit there and go, I am thoroughly enjoying this Big 12 competition today? No, you're going, I'm really enjoying Tech and Oklahoma State. This is a great game between West Virginia and UCF. You're not going. Now, I can't speak for the people in the SEC because they're wired different. They're weird. They do tune in and go, I am watching SEC football. Who's playing? I don't know. It just has the SEC logo. I must watch. I will chant things that are nonsensical. It just means more. What do you mean, honey? I don't know. Just keep in and out of the conversation. Yeah, they've got their own problems out there in California. Hey, welcome to $20 an hour minimum wage, California. Gonna miss your what is it, jungle style, or what do you call the secret menu? Good on you, California. So there we are. You have to ask yourself, good idea, bad idea, or not. The naming right thing to me is a no-brainer. Get whatever money you get out of the naming right. The private equity deal is getting overshadowed today because it's real easy to sit here and come up with funny names for the conference, different things like that. And I get that. I love conference realignment, conference renaming, even better. Even better. The private equity deal is the bigger story. 100% the bigger story. The company that was linked to the Big 12, they've worked most notably, you would know, the Women's Tennis Association. Okay, that's pretty good. Women's tennis, by the way, is thriving pretty well. Their ratings, they do all right. They've got compelling players right now. I would say more so than the men's side. Iga Swiatek. But that, to me, that's the story of selling off an athletic association. And we've long, talked about how athletic departments are separated from a university. But I'm sure they vetted this from a legal standpoint. Can a public university spin off its athletic department and then spin off part of the ownership of the said athletic department as a public university in the state of Texas or whatever? What is it? And this is where it would get interesting too, from financial fiduciary agreements within the scope of the IRS, and what you would have to make public and not make public. And with the private schools, a TCU, a Baylor, most notably, would they have to open up their records the way they've never done so before because of the intertwining with the private equity firm? Very interesting. I don't know. And I just get back to the idea, again, talking about this private equity infusion. What's long term? Most private equity groups look at a long term, a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year. Very few private equity firms are looking to turn around something in 90 days. That's not what they're doing. But it's a long term deal. What do we believe is long term anymore in college athletics? What would it bind you to, was fascinating to me, if you enter into an agreement with a private equity firm, what would it bind, say, Texas Tech? Is it a death pact worse than a grant of rights? That you couldn't leave the Big 12 for a fixed amount of years to join a football-only league or a revamped top 64, 72 type team setup. What exactly are you ceding beyond the dollar limit to that firm? Devil's in the details. Joseph jumping in. Facebook people are strong today. YouTube, a little bit all right. Our Twitter people, I'm wondering where our Twitter people are. I know we got tons of people on Twitter watching the show. I need my Twitter people jumping in. You know? Need the Twitter people jumping in on the comments section. See, I say that, and there we go. Shines on Twitter. Did I miss basketball talk? 2 Scullies left. No, we hadn't even talked about basketball tonight. Probably won't. I might get into that next week. Still moderately early when it comes to putting together the full roster. I think last year it was almost like July, so I ain't worried about it. Like what I'm seeing right now. But the biggest thing right now is what's going on with conference naming rights, private equity, and of course Ludwig Ober. One shot off the lead in the U.S. Open. Patrick Cantlay got to 500. Hey, Ober. Texas Tech people, say it right. Ober, 4 under, three birdies and a bogey on both sides. Pretty consistent day for him. Ober. Oh, and the other thing we did this morning, either or Thursday, in honor of Joey Chestnut, who I believe Nathan's is right to ban him for 4th of July hot dog eating contest. If you had to do a competition, what could you eat more of, pizza or hot dogs? Slices of generic slices of pizza or a generic hot dog? Or just in general, what would it be that if you had to enter a food eating competition, what could you eat the most of? We got about another 7 minutes or so left, so we can kind of finish up with that. Your questions and comments on the Big 12 news today. Terrence Shannon, I don't know if it was not guilty, but it was dropped or whatever. The charges, the allegations of misconduct last year in Lawrence when he was down there for the Illinois-Kansas football game seemed fishy at the time. Didn't like it then. Was glad he got back out on the floor. And by the way, all you college basketball, football players now with NIL, get ready for it. You got a target on your back. Used to be a poor, broke-ass college kid. Now you are a target for all of these things. So beware. Things have changed. You can't behave the same way you used to behave back in the day. Better watch out. Be a lot more Terrence Shannons out there. And I don't mean that like he's a bad guy. I mean in a bad way. Shines meat. Define meat. Like steak, like you could do the 72-ounce Big Texan Challenge an hour. Lonnie going pizza all day. If it's, again, this is standard pizza crust. No thick, no thin, just, you know what we're talking about here. In a standard, like you go to Pizza Hut or Domino's or Papa John's or wherever it is, the standard cut. I still think I could do more hot dogs because it seems like the hot dog, not as big as a slice of pizza. Now, I think maybe, so then do we get into like total weight? Because I think I might be able to eat more total weight in pizza, but just like individual deals, I might be able to do more of the hot dogs just on an individual basis. David Collier, who's done doing television today, his next show is coming up in 45 minutes. He's got a TikTok show. I think at 7:30 TikTok show, and then he does a Sirius XM show at 8:30, and then back on TV and then radio in the morning. So pork rinds. No, I think Collier, your answer would be nachos at DJ's Dugout, which 10 years ago today, we were at DJ's Dugout in Omaha, Nebraska, downtown, minutes away from TD Ameritragedy Stadium. Today was the first open practice that Texas Tech participated in. They had their team photo made in the morning. They're in front of the statue. We were there. David was there. I was there. Matt Roberts was there. Was Matt Roberts there? I don't know. Yeah, Matt Roberts was there. Out of KLBK and now rocking the Baylor green and gold. But yeah, I would put you on the nacho or the what was it like, the Asian zing wings or whatever that is? Not like the traditional stuff. Yeah, we kind of stumbled onto DJs, and it became a thing. And now there are 4 Texas Tech flags hanging from the rafters. And I'm going through my DJs withdrawals. I sent them a little note. Said, hey, every year I send them a note and say, I wish we were going to be there. You know, be awesome, but we'll be back as soon as we can. They're like, we're saving a table for you and all the Red Raider fans. They love the Tech fans. They're greatest fans, love the Tech fans, great people, nice people. They even clean up after themselves. Was Don Williams there? No, he was not. Don Williams has not covered a College World Series. No, he hadn't covered a College World Series. I got that on him. He's got me beat Super Bowls 3-0. I got him on College World Series 4-0. I got him on Women's National Championships 1-0. That's about the only thing that I've beat Don on right there. What could you eat the most of? Hot dogs, slices of pizza, or anything else if you had to do food eating challenge. Fried okra. I've never seen them do that, and that would be awesome this year at Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. Fried okra. I could eat fried okra. People who know me know that I could do this. I could do that in a contest. It would be pretty good, pretty impressive. Peel and eat shrimp. I can do that. I'd be pretty good on that one. I do real good on that. You don't get full eating peel and eat shrimp. You just get physically tired. Your hands get tired, everything else. Craig going with the jalapeno poppers. We're wrapped in bacon. We got the cream cheese, all that good stuff. Shines, you are a sick individual. Okra, pickled okra is just no. Nobody. What are you, like East Texas? You got to be deep East Texas. You're like Marshall or Henderson or Rusk, Wascom. Pickled okra. Boiled okra, pickled okra. Is there a beef jerky eating contest? If there's not, there should be. Andrews. Well, brother down in Andrews got to eat some pickled okra, I guess, every now and then. If your granny made it and you're using the same recipe your granny made, that might be okay. That might be acceptable. We might be able to go along with that. They do not have pickled okra at the Reserve, a culinary tavern. I'm not sure they have fried okra. I need to talk to Nick about that, Chef Willie. We might get that on the brunch menu. Hyatt's fried okra. Hey, there's one of our YouTube people jumping in. Timbo Buddy Steak Fingers down in Andrew. Another Andrews deal going on there. Whew. Yeah, that would be a good contest. Do you have to dip each one in a little bit of gravy? Not have to. Do you get to? We'd go down there and call a high school football game or whatever. I'd go and I'd tell whoever I was working with every time we went, don't worry about the pregame. Don't worry about anything. I got it taken care of. Take this money, go to Buddy's, bring back as much money as that will buy us. Well, a little before the game, we'll eat it on the way back home. So good. The All-State Conference, the big All-State Conference, the All-State 12 Conference. We'll have more time tomorrow to talk about this. Tomorrow on the website, theraiderland.com, which we're going to archive this to for the replay people whom we love. Everybody who's with us live right now, even if you don't have a question, even if you don't have anything really pertinent to say, but you're hanging out, you're watching, just post a comment, type on there, thank you, congrats, whatever. We love the replay people. So replay people, you can hit me on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media or post comments, questions, and everything. They're at theraiderland.com. Most Texan thing you've done, we'll have that tomorrow. We'll have our hot links as well ready to go. We'll be checking in more with the U.S. Open tomorrow. I didn't get to watch a ton of it today. Got to watch a little bit of it. Looked like the U.S. Open at Pinehurst is really what it looked like. It was fascinating that it looked exactly like a U.S. Open at Pinehurst. I've got a friend who's played that course, I think, 2 times. Said it. Now, when it's not set up for the U.S. Open, he said it's really hard. And when it's set up for the U.S. Open, it's stupid. For Aubert to go 400 today, massive. Because this wasn't a day that a lot of people scored. You didn't see, beyond him and Cantlay, anybody going, really low, and quickly it dropped off back towards par. So I look at that and I say, that's about 2 strokes, maybe 2.5 strokes that Aubert has over the field going into tomorrow. Stiff arm the field tomorrow. Maybe add a stroke if you can. Saturday, hang on for dear life. Give yourself a chance to go win it on Sunday. Rory got to 5. Oh, man. Was he in 40 minutes ago? Was he that close? How did he get to 5? I didn't think he was. I thought it was like 3. Huh. Well, good for Rory. I want to thank you for teaching us to pronounce Aubert. It's just, my linguistics training at Texas Tech University. I didn't need to hear it pronounced by anyone else. I knew it was Aubert. I don't like making people feel bad, but, college educated. Luddy. Pronounced Luddy. Luddy Aubert. That's what kids back home called him. Luddy. Oh, we went green, white, checker. Hey, Collier. No, you do not say the G. It's Aubert. Just Aubert. McAvoy shot a 81. Missed a 5-foot putt to a Cardin 80. Great ball striker. Obar. Yes, Obar. Collier, what's coming up on Red Raider Nation at 10 o'clock tonight? Or 10:21 when you get the stick. I guess Ron will probably be handed time back tonight since it's summer and he doesn't want to work. So you get time back from weather, and then news probably underproduced. So yeah, you'll get extra time thrown at you about 5 minutes before you go on. Hey Collier, can you add another 45 seconds? Yeah, sure, no problem. So what are you doing today? Oh, that's right. You got Stanley Cup final. It's even better. What's worse? Well, back in the day, it was waiting on Monday Night Football. So yeah, you got Stanley Cup or I guess sometimes NBA Finals. Remind me sometime to tell the story of John Robinson getting death threats for doing weather break-ins during the NBA Finals back when Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. I'll tell that story another time. In stream, it says, hey, you guys are great. Replay people, we love you. Everybody loves the replay people. The real-time people, too, we love you as well. We will see you in the morning on the website, theraiderland.com. If you guys really want to do something cool after this, you can share it on Twitter and on Facebook and invite your friends to watch. And the more you bring in, the bigger it grows, the better it gets. We'll see everybody in